Jurassic World Rebirth, the official review. Yeah, it's a little bit later than usual. Yes, the movie's already come out. No, not everyone's gone to watch the movie yet. So this is why I'm choosing today to give my review. And not to mention, I was traveling a little bit and just got back, so which is one of the biggest reasons why there's a little bit of an absence in terms of my videos. I was trying to upload a lot of shorts and kind of showing you some of the traveling and some of the places that we visited, things that we did. I hope you guys enjoy that. We went to the Stampede, we went to Vancouver, we did a little bit of this, we did a little bit of that. So, that said, I'm going to do the review right now, and I want you guys' honest opinion. So, here's the deal. The return of dinosaur terror. This is how I'm going to sum up this movie. The dinosaurs were scary again. They were scary. Director Gareth Edwards absolutely nailed the scale and presence of these creatures. Now, whether it was a terrifying mosasaur attack, or like at sea, or a very suspenseful T-Rex chase on land, I actually was a little bit nervous watching some of these scenes. There was a particular scene, I don't want to give it away, and it didn't have to do with the actual T-Rex that we've grown accustomed to, but it was the mutated T-Rex that I'm going to talk a little bit about. That was really freakishly scary, and I was afraid it was going to do something very, very terrible to a very beloved character in the film. And I don't want to give away all the details exactly as to how that played out, but that was one of the scariest scenes. And it brought back that sense of awe and fear, something that we haven't really felt since the original. Now, did the set pieces deliver? Well, there were some genuinely memorable action moments in this film. Excuse me, the boat attack sequence and a tense river raft chase, with the T-Rex, as a standout. That was a big highlight in the way they incorporated the T-Rex. Now, there was some genuinely memorable action moments here. There was a boat sequence, a very tense river, like a river chase, with the T-Rex. That was definitely, like, if you're watching this film because you wanted to watch a T-Rex, that was definitely memorable. It was scary, it was exciting, it was thrilling. There were times where even the people were yelling at the screen, hoping that the character would hear them out and do the opposite, or do something completely different, so that it didn't catch the ire of the T-Rex. So that was definitely a standout highlight for me. I can't remember the last time I saw a Jurassic movie with sequences like that kept me on the edge of my seat like this one did. It was quite some time. And one of the other things I really appreciated was how the film was. It brought back that nostalgia feeling of seeing dinosaurs again. It's been a few years since we had the chance of seeing dinosaurs on film, and actually this film reminded me a lot. There was elements of Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, but it really brought back memories of when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time, right? There was a beauty in the way the dinosaurs were presented, and it was balanced with some very real danger, which I liked. And again, those are the moments that I remember watching the original Jurassic Park film. When Alan Grant sees this first Brachiosaurus, that was not only nostalgic, but it was somewhat magical to see, but haunting in its own right. And there was almost a callback, kind of like to Jurassic Park 3. I've always kind of had a soft spot for Jurassic Park 3. I've had a soft spot for a lot of these films, to be honest, but that military style crew, lands on the island thinking they're in control, and only to be hunted down one by one. That combined with the stranded family, trying to survive, gave the movie some very nice dual perspectives. That family that I'm talking about went through some ordeal, quite a bit. You'll watch them. There was a boating scene actually while they were out in the ocean, and it was interesting. There was there was a few instances where they basically made it out by the skin, by like a hair, literally by like a hair. There was everything from deep sea creatures to like Spinosauruses to you name it that were chasing these guys that were after them, and they were really nice. It was really good to see that kind of family, and it was good to see those dual perspectives I was talking about. There was I mean, the movie itself had a lot of great. It had a great supporting cast. Obviously Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali. There was quite a few notable characters in there, including the family that I was talking about too. They also did well. The acting was really good. Jonathan Bailey's character really kind of stood out as well too. He's the dinosaur lover with the real reverence, for these creatures. He gives a few great monologues, and Mahershala Ali's character, as I mentioned, kind of very classic 90s, kind of like, in a good way, obviously, but both of them added something very interesting to the ensemble and to the cast and to the overall feel and look of the film, and so that was great. I for one thought, I didn't mind Scarlett Johansson's character, to be honest, because a lot of people talking about how they felt that her character fell flat, and it was she's a great actress. Obviously, she knows how to act. She knows how to deliver her lines. But in this film, they felt that her character Zora didn't really pop. Didn't really connect, jive. With the overall theme of the film and with the audience itself. So a lot of her dialogue did feel quite kind of like clunky one-liners, kind of like, and not like Arnold Schwarzenegger's like "I'll be back," but very one-liners that didn't really work, and the humor honestly didn't really land in most of the time. I mean, she's not bad. I think she's a great actress, but to me, didn't really feel like she would be the best fit moving forward for this franchise. I think she did what she was supposed to a certain level, but when it came time to really bring the character to life, I think maybe she fell flat a little bit there. Very clunky screenplay. The plot itself, I mean, again, it's your typical Jurassic Park film. You folks are going out to a remote island, infested in it, with dinosaurs from the past, and it almost seems like the same old storylines. You have the villain who basically handcuffs himself to the briefcase, and somebody yelled out, "I wonder what's going to happen to his briefcase. I wonder what's going to happen to this guy." Well, of course, lo and behold, everyone guessed it, that the briefcase, his hand separated from himself. You'll notice in this film too, there's a lot of mutated dinosaurs. There's one in particular, and I'll get to in just a second, but that in itself, I don't know if I really believe it anymore. Like, I mean, in the earlier films, it did kind of make sense. Mutated dinosaurs, I get it. I see why they're there. And, there's a lot of science and, experiments and things that are going on. So it makes sense. But now you got these more mutated, and I don't know if there's such a thing as more mutated, but they were severely mutated to the point where they were somewhat unbelievable. And yeah, I just don't know. I think it was a bit overkill. I think it was a bit much, and it actually took away from a lot of the nostalgic dinosaurs that were, that we were used to, like, the Brachiosauruses, the raptors, even the T-Rex. I felt that there were times where they were somewhat overshadowed by these new creation of dinosaurs, which again, definitely unbelievable to me. So I also felt that there was a missed opportunity in that sense. There was this big hype about, this mutated T-Rex. It was big, it was bad, and it was damn ugly. And the movie opens very, very strongly with this mutated dinosaur, and you see it in its full might as to what it can do. And a poor chap had to be the victim, one of the first victims of this mutated T-Rex. Yeah, it again, they if they were gonna have a mutated dinosaur, I get it, they should have had it, but to take away from the T-Rex, and yeah, I don't know. I think it fell kind of short there. The movie was definitely predictable. I think the directors and maybe the producers wanted to play it safe, and so that you can kind of somewhat guess what's going to happen in the next frame. Who's going to get eaten. I mean, it was almost somewhat predictable. I mean, there was people around us in the theater who were yelling out things that were somewhat foreshadowing as to what was going to happen, and they were like bang on every single time. And no, they didn't watch the movie before. This was their first time watching it, so yeah, it was definitely predictable. So you kind of almost knew what was going to happen. The simplicity works in its favor for fun, but you can't expect major twists and bold storytelling in this film. This is basically just out there to show these dinosaurs how you normally see them, and do what they do and scare the bejesus out of a whole bunch of people, or the stranded few that were on the island, and very similar to previous movies in the past. So, I mean, essentially the dinosaurs sequences were thrilling. There were definitely some of the best that we've seen in the franchise. Like I said, the mutated ones were a little bit overkill. There was definitely a little bit of humor, but I think there was some misses there. And the clunky one-liners and the humor from Scarlett Johansson was kind of somewhat awkward at times and fell short of the cue. It was definitely functional enough to move the plot, but nothing deeply compelling. There was definitely some tense moments, and yeah, the dinosaurs again were very, very dangerous, just like the previous films, especially the mutated T-Rex. So overall, a lot of Jurassic Park 3 kind of vibes. That's kind of what I was, kind of alluding to. It was a stripped down, kind of a stripped back survival story with very scary dinos, fun set pieces, had that nostalgic feel. It was very groundbreaking right from the beginning for the franchise. It was entertaining, but it was fun, but not the same way I felt watching previous films. But you definitely want to watch this in the theater. I think it's good, and I apologize, we've got a whole bunch of people here, but that's fine. Critics will probably be very hard on this movie. No concerns there. It is what it is, and because of its simplicity, it's going to get that. But I think, honestly, the producers and the directors just wanted to show you a bunch of dinosaurs and a bunch of people getting eaten up with a very predictable, safe kind of plot, and I think that's what they did. So for the casual fans and dinosaur lovers, I think you have a lot to enjoy. They didn't necessarily reinvent the wheel, which is good, but again, I think there was a lot of overkill when it came to the mutated dinosaurs. So let me know what you guys think of Jurassic World Rebirth. Did you see it? Did it work for you? What did? What didn't? Are you? Does this actually incentivize you to wanting to watch future films of the franchise, or is it, do you want to see something new? Do you want to see a new plot? Do you want to see maybe new characters? Do you like what do you want to see? Where do you want to see this film go and grow? Do you want to see these dinosaurs continue to live on this remote island, and researchers and scientists and people from the pharmaceutical industry and stakeholders of all kinds continue to go to this island only to get eaten up and beaten up? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I think this will create for some good conversation, because how much more are you going to continue to have a film with the same kind of plot, with the same kind of twist, with the same kind of story and feel? So anyhow, please definitely like and subscribe, and catch me definitely on the next one. We have more to chat about, and I look forward to seeing and reviewing your guys' comments. Have a great one.